Car number 6 will be starting at the point. The Aspen Hill Farms machine from Windsor Locks, Connecticut for Jeremy Lavoie.
Then it will be car number 5 from Tallinn, Connecticut. And the Napa of Tallinn sponsored car, the driver is Andrew Marquise.
From Barkhamsted, Connecticut comes the GP Fence machine. Car number 22 for Gary Patnose.
Then it will be car number 59, a driver from Weathersfield in the Elmo's Dockside Restaurant car. Here is Matt Clement.
Multiple champion Safeco Foams, number 92 out of East Long Meadow. It is Ryan Fern.
And then it will be car number 87 in the Surdell Motorsports car, a driver from Willington, R.J. Surdell.
Car number 66, last week's feature event winner, Patera Chevrolet, brings us the 66. From Palmer, Mass, it's Justin Brown.
Next will be car number 23, our first-year driver. He is from Ellington, Stephen Midford.
Then it's the Pacini Law Firm, number 88, from Palmer, Massachusetts, Dwayne Provost.
And we have car number 8. It is only his second start from Barkhamsted, Stephen Martell.
Safeco Foams brings us car number 12. She had a problem in qualifying from East Long Meadow, Alexandra Fern. The distance is 20 laps. So the field is ready. Lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point. As they head off turn number 4, whaling lights are off, and we are whaling back to the line. And Jeremy Lavoie had an electrical problem last week. He is out in front, and here comes Gary Patnode up to second. And that Ryan Fern car, we've been talking about that, is in a good battle with the number 5 of Andrew Marquise. Oh,
Here
boy.
comes Fern, trouble behind him as Clement goes around. Surdell is in the middle of that. But the 59 went around, and pandemonium ensued.
So with one lap up on the board, 2 cars have tangled just off from turn number 4. Oh, it looks like 3 cars.
Yeah, there's 3 cars tangled up at the exit of turn number 4.
Looks like the Clement number 59, Stephen Medford, I think, might be in that, as well as Robert Surdell. Here's the green. Here's Matt Buckler.
And will it be Jeremy Lavoie to get the jump? Right there with him is Ryan Fern, and it's Lavoie who will lead the field as they blister their way down the backstretch. Look at Fern going to the outside. That is a very difficult move to make.
He made it look easy at the start, but he wasn't able to close the deal. But there's still a long way to go because this is only lap number 2 of 20 circuits. Side-by-side racing in a battle for the 3rd spot, and that is a great battle going on. And the 5 of Marquise is turning some heads here tonight. He's up to the 3rd spot with the 22 of Gary Patnode. Patnode looked very good during his first outing here at Stafford, and he sees an opening. He's going for it on the inside, Matt.
He has plenty of room, and he swooshes his way underneath Marquise, and making the identical move is Alexandra Fern. Remember, she struggled in qualifying, never was able to make it to her heat race, but right now she is among the top drivers.
And it appears that the 88 machine did not make it out for the feature event, and we have not seen that happen, I don't think, ever, Matt, to be very honest with you. So
it's going to be very difficult to win a championship when you throw an air ball in the 2nd race of the season.
Surdell now trying to get his rhythm back up in the competition here as well. But it is Jeremy Lavoie, 22.537 was his last circuit by. But Ryan Fern's last circuit by was 23.316. But here's the interesting factor. 22.537, Jeremy Lavoie has been the best time of the race so far. So Lavoie might be planning his strategy just right, Matt, and not using up his tires or using up that race car.
Because that has been a problem in the past for Jeremy Lavoie. He's had big leads in races and has been unable to seal the deal. So he will try to make that happen tonight against Ryan Fern. Remember, electrical problems last week, And tonight, he could do commercials for Eversource. That's how much electricity he has in that number 6.
We've just received word from Kyle Rickey in the paddock area that an engine problem is Astoria Provost. Now, speaking of problems, the 22, Gary Patno, that was running third, went from third to sixth, almost like something in the car shut completely off. 8 laps of 20 now complete. Pit stopper program sellers right down front. Just wave to them, and they'll come directly to you. You don't have to go to them.
Boy, we have 2 great battles as we are getting near to the halfway point. We have one for the lead between Lavoie and Ryan Fern, and we have one for second, Alexandra Fern, doing a great job against Justin Bren, but we all know what that number 66 car is capable of.
We certainly do, and he was looking for big things like he had during Sizzler weekend. He's all over Alexandra Fern's back bumper, but the lead still remains Jeremy Lavoie. And almost like he's toying, because now he picked up the quickest lap again, 22.537. So he's getting quicker in the process.
Well, we wonder if Ryan Fern is saving something, as he has been in second for almost the entire race. Things are getting breathtaking for third, as Alexandra Fern sees an 8x10 glossy of that number 66 car of Justin Bren. Fern has a spot, but all over the back bumper like a refrigerator magnet is Justin Bren.
Justin Bren, I think, is just hoping for that caution to tighten this all back up. But sometimes those wishes just don't come true, Matt, because so far we've had a clean, good race, and Lavoie is pulling away now. 22.051, the fastest lap turned in this event. Now, 22.078, Ryan Fern. That's the fastest lap he's went in this event. And here is that battle for third, Alexandra Fern, 22.470, and she's still trying to hold off Bren, and she's doing a real good job at that, because Bren has tried just about everything, Matt, to get around her.
And every time that Justin Bren gets within striking distance, like right now, Fern comes up with that little extra bit of giddy up, and she Tabascos her way ahead of that 66. And now moving up is Gary Patno. It's been an adventuresome night for him, but the real adventure is at the front of the field, and Ryan Fern is starting to get his game face on. We'll see.
Caution. 5 and 23 in turns 1 and 2.
That's Andy Marquise and Stephen Midford.
They come together like two cymbals in an orchestra.
Not what Jeremy Lavoie wanted to see
for years. But let's see if they can get the job done. But when you're up against the Fern family, that's never going to be easy. And Bren, and this time Lavoie, has a slight advantage as they work their magic down the back straightaway. And now all of a sudden, Alexandra Fern's given her brother a run for the money, Matt.
And Alexandra takes the spot. Now Bren is trying to do the same thing to move up into the top 3. Not enough firepower for Bren. So Bren has been trapped in 4th, and while everybody is tangling for position, Jeremy Lavoie is pulling away. He is on easy street.
Jeremy Lavoie continues to run away from the competition here. Back off the turn, Alexandra Fern is slowly gaining, but will time run out? 16 laps are up on the board in this 20-lap event, as Jeremy Lavoie's last lap by 22.051. Alexandra Fern, 22.421. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, Justin Bren is closing up the gap on Ryan Fern, but is not quite there as yet. 17 circuits up on the board, 3 to go. 2.5 miles left in the competition. Meanwhile, off turn number 4, Popsicle sticks are up, 2 laps remaining. Final 2 circuits. What's it gonna be? Leader of the pack still is Jeremy Lavoie. Meanwhile, Alexandra still holding on. And Ryan Fern continues to hold off the opposition of Justin Bren. Here is the white flag, 1 lap remaining.
And this could be the toughest lap of them all for Jeremy Lavoie, trying to keep it together. He stampedes his way onto the backstretch, all by his lonesome. It's a soliloquy as he heads into turn 4. Here comes Lavoie.
Off turn number 4. Jeremy Lavoie is back in winning form here at Stafford. He will take down the win. Alexander Fern to finish in second. Ryan Fern for third. Justin Brent for fourth. Robert Serdell for 5. Gary Patnode for 6th. Andrew Marquise for 7th. Stephen Mitford for 8th. Stephen Martell for 9. And Matt Clements will finish among the top 10.
And I know it's a cliche, Ben, what a difference a week makes. A week ago, the season really didn't start for Jeremy Lavoie as he was KO'd before the feature started. Tonight, he started up front, but he was pressured by Ryan Fern, especially in the first half of the race, and there was not much that Fern could do about it. This was not easy. So let's go to Napa Victory Lane, and the man we will be throwing it to, one of the voices of the Motor Racing Network, Kyle Rickey Jr.
Yeah, talk about going from the outhouse to the penthouse. A rough week a week ago with electrical issues. I don't think you got to run the feature at all, and now you're on the racetrack, back in Victory Lane. Congratulations, Jeremy, on the win.
Thank you very much. This is, no matter how many times you're in Victory Lane, it still feels like you're first. Last week we did have some gremlins. We ended up coming out in the track, but we didn't start the feature. So we got that fixed this week, and the car's fast. The car's real fast, and I can't do it without my sponsors, Aspen Hill Farm, LNS Equipment, P2 Perry's Powder Coatings, and my family. They stand behind me 100%. My sister, my father, my aunt, my uncle, they're at the shop 6 days a week getting this car as fast as it is. And I got to thank the fans for coming out, families in the stands supporting me, and friends that come out, and Sunoco, Napa, Stafford Speedway for putting on the show, and thank you, everybody. It means a lot.
You got out front, looked pretty comfortable. Was it from your seat?
You know, it was. But I can't underestimate anybody in this division. Anybody in this division can win on any given night. And, you know, we did start from the pole, and that does help. But keep it out front, that's the biggest challenge.
There you go. Jeremy Lavoie finished 11th a week ago and moves up in a big way here tonight, picking up the race win in the limited late model feature. All right, let's jump over, talk to the rest of the podium finishers, including Alexandra Fern, a second-place run, and an eventful race for you. Got collected in that incident off of turn number 4 a little bit of contact, but bounced back to a nice runner-up finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely cannot complain. We had some problems in the heat race, and then in the feature we started last, which, I mean, no one wants to do that, but it is what it is. And, you know, I knew coming into the race, hey, I have some work to do if I want to finish well. And kind of just got lucky, but unlucky at the same time. I was steering down the backstretch for all 20 laps after that. But either way, the car was good. Everything else was perfect. The cards kind of like played in my favor, and I can't be more thankful for that. It was really fun. Can't wait to come back next week. Congratulations to the 6 car. They're a great team. They're great people. Would race against them any day. Yeah, I have to thank everyone who makes this possible. I would be nothing without these people. My dad, my car owner, Armadeo, Dave, my mom, Sue, Tom, Diane, everybody who makes this possible. Safeco Foam, Rad Auto Machine, Sunoco Race Fuels, Williams Race Gears, Whip Sporting Goods, everybody who makes this possible would not be here without them. See you guys next week.
Ryan Fern comes home with a third. Kind of bring us through your night, battling late there to get that third spot.
Oh, man, it felt like somebody put a banana peel underneath that right rear on that yellow Safeco car that we got, but I mean, I don't know. We're going to try and fix that at the shop this week. We took a big swing at it last week, and it really helped out with cutting through the middle and all that. So I just got to thank Safeco Foam. Got to thank Williams Race Gear on those restarts, drag racing the 6 car. You know, it was one heck of a battle, but I mean, in these cars, it's really tough to run on the outside when you only got 8-inch wide tires. I mean, I wish we had 15-inch wide tires, am I right? But, you know, I also got to thank Napa for sponsoring everything here, Stafford Motor Speedway, and then the Arute family. I also got to thank Sunoco Race Fuels, Hoosier Tire East. And I also got to thank Whip Sporting Goods. I also got to thank Rad Auto Machine, keeping the crate motors fresh.
Drivers always wanting more. Imagine that. Ryan Fern, that is, getting a third-place run here tonight.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
You know, when I was first diagnosed with ADHD, it wasn't a surprise because I had difficulty in high school focusing. And I think now people notice my ADHD as an adult on a daily basis. When I can't pay attention, I really can't pay attention. And that's why I talk to my doctor.
ADHD symptoms may look different as you get older. Find out more. Take a quiz at ownYourADHD.com to help recognize the symptoms of ADHD. Then talk with your doctor.
It's your ADHD. Own it.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
2 years after this speech, the pride of the Yankees died of ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. Although there is still no cure, the reason for hope is stronger than ever. Join the ALS Association in the fight to find treatments and a cure for ALS. Go to alsa.org/75 for more information.
Lead them off, car number 42 in the DMW graphics car. Here is Mike Ray.
Johnson prepared, brings us car number 82, the Supreme Industries car, the DP Motorsports entry for Paul Arute. Inside row number 2, the Family First Life, number 99, from Oakdale, Connecticut, Chase Cook.
Another one-time winner will be in car number 11 from Hatfield, Massachusetts, in the Amherst trucking car. The man behind the wheel is Tyler Leary.
The hideout, number 44, from Shelton, Connecticut. He looks strong in qualifying. It is Mike Quintiliano.
And he'll be followed by a man with 4 Stafford championships in car number 92. In the King Ward coach line, sponsored machine, here is Tommy Fern.
Life Care Family Chiropractic brings us car number 31 from Wilbraham, Mass. for the defending champion. That, of course, is Glenn Ring.
A rookie late model competitor, but a former champion in the limited late models, is in car number 40. In the American Sleeve bearing car, here is Albert Saunders.
Team Motorsports brings us this talent with car number 79. Boy, he turned some heads last week from Enfield, Connecticut. It is car number 79 for Darrell Keene.
The twin brother of Albert Saunders will be situated in car number 14. He's from Stafford. American Sleeve Bearing has been a longtime sponsor for Cliff Saunders.
Then we go to car number 39 out of Berlin, Connecticut, driving the Pub 67 car for Paul Verrecchio Jr. There's the double greens. And Michael Ray gets a big jump on Paul Arute.
Boy, he looked like he was fired from Cape Canaveral, getting the early jump against Paul Arute. A battle already develops for third. It's Tyler Leary there. Chase Cook now drops back, and moving in is Tom Fern, and that's what Tom Fern does. He doesn't waste time. He is a very aggressive driver in the beginning of a race.
He certainly is. He's up to the 4th spot. Leary is in the 3rd position. Watch Fern. He just gave a shot to the back bumper of the Leary car that would jar the fillings in anyone's teeth. So he comes to play hardball every time he races.
So let's see how hard Fern decides to drive the 11 of Tyler Leary. Out in front is Michael Ray. In his hip pocket is Paul Arute. And now here comes Fern. Bold move to the bottom as he tries to slingshot his way underneath Leary. And Leary has that extra bit of pizzazz to hold him off.
Leary has learned his lessons well at the high banks of Monadnock. He isn't about to give up an inch without a fight. And that's exactly what we got. And now we're going to throw Mike Quintiliano into the mix as well. So 3 cars contending for the 3rd spot. Here comes Fern. Aggressive diving on the bottom, and Mike Quintiliano follows him through. While all that is happening, Michael Ray just clicked off a 21.560 as his best time. Paul Arute in 2nd just clicked off a 21.491.
Here comes Glenn Reen underneath Tyler Leary. So Reen has moved up into the top 5, and now he's going after Mike Quintiliano.
The Supreme Industries car is looking supreme as all of a sudden it reels in on the back of Ray. Ray scuffs the wall off turn number 2. So he knows that Paul Arute is coming. And Paul's car is sticking like glue on the inside, but Tom Fern is picking up the pace. How much so? 21.417 for Tom Fern. So Fern picking up Paul Arute's last time, 21.448, and Ray, 21.506.
Boy, it's like Paul Arute has suction cups for tires as that car is adhering to the track. Tom Fern in 3rd. Remember, Fern had a great run a week ago to finish in the runner-up position. Quintiliano, who was also on the podium last week, running 4th. Now leading the next group of cars is our rookie competitor, Albert Saunders, in car number 40, as he knows it'll take a while before he gets comfortable in that car. And Darrell Keene, who led 27 laps on Sizzler Sunday, well, he's struggling tonight. He is in 8th place.
Keep your eyes on the front 2 cars. Michael Ray seems to struggle just coming off turn number 2. Paul Arute has hit his marks every time. Now watch Ray. Right about there, the car just drifts out to the wall. Now Paul Arute tries to reel him back in. On entry, Arute can pick up maybe a half a car. But on exit, will he be able to stay with him? Yes, that time he does, Matt.
So they Tasmanian devil their way into the 2nd corner. That's the kind of driver that Michael Ray is. Maybe not the smoothest guy, but he's able to get the maximum out of his car. Here comes Paul Arute again, ready to challenge. So Paul Arute refuses to vanish into the night air.
Certainly does. The Supreme Industries car is supreme. Holding on to that runner-up spot, Ray has had a couple of slip-ups, but he's been able to gather it back, still in command. Meanwhile, Fern in the 3rd spot. Mike Quintiliano is 4. The defending champion Reen has got 5, and Leary's got 6, and he's not letting Glenn Reen get far out of his sight. 12 of the 30, 3 laps shy of the halfway marker. Leader is still Ray. Well, let's check the times. Last time, 21.593 Ray, 21.619 Paul Arute. And Leary just did a great job of getting by Glenn Reen to take over the 5th spot, Matt.
That car has come back to life. So a little bit of resurrection in that number 11 car. And Paul Arute is still laminated to the back bumper of the Michael Ray car. If you wanted to compare our top 2 drivers to baseball pitchers, Paul Arute is a guy who is always in control in the strike zone. Michael Ray could be all over the place, but right now he does have the best fastball. So kind of contrasting styles, the aggressiveness of Ray and the smoothness of Paul Arute.
This time, the cross flags in the air indicating half of the event is all but history. Let's check the time. Last lap by. 5:95 for Ray, 6:27 for Arute, 6:73 for Tommy Fern.
And continuing to crowd our leader, Paul Arute. So he is making Michael Ray earn every lap that he leads. Glenn Reen starting to go backwards a little as you saw that car go loose into turn number 1. So it appears there could be handling issues on that Glenn Reen car.
As they come off turn number 4, Paul Arute has really closed up that gap.
He is sitting on Michael Ray's lap.
Paul Arute's team, made up of a group of guys that have worked very hard. Johnson, DeCarly, and Marvin, and the rest of that gang. They have given him a good race car today, and he is a wheelman, and he is showing that and showing great patience. 18 of 30. And the laps are so consistent on those two cars.
Here comes Leary trying to get underneath Mike Quintiliano. That is a fight for fourth. As Quintiliano, he got a little squirrely coming out of the second corner, and Leary almost was able to take advantage of it.
You know, it's so interesting because you were right, Matt, you called it earlier. Leary's car is getting quicker while the rest of the cars in front of him seem to be backing up. Mike Quintiliano's car was much quicker 5 laps ago than it is now, and Leary is moving in, and he's going to challenge on the inside off turn 4.
And he has some elbow room as he tries to carve his way underneath Quintiliano, and he has to back out of it. He's going to try it again coming out of turn number 4. Here comes Leary looking for some daylight.
A look at timing and scoring. It suddenly changes. Ray won a 21.706, and Paul Arute has slowed just a bit with a 21.737. No surprise, the quickest lap turn is Tyler Leary, 21.406. So it's not an optical illusion, Matt. It's the real deal.
Yeah, timing and scoring does not lie. But Leary needs a few more of those 21.486 laps to get close to Quintiliano. And Quintiliano looks to be in charge. So is Michael Ray, trying to win from wire to wire as he is slightly pulling away from Paul Arute lap after lap. So the brightest blip on the radar screen, as it has been for the entire race, belongs to Michael Ray.
Tom Byrne is picking up the pace ever so slightly. His last circuit by was a 21.777 over Paul Arute's 21.727. So Fern is coming, and there is less than 7 circuits to get the job done. Still, a great battle between Quintiliano, and all of a sudden, talk about a roller coaster ride tonight. Glenn Reen's car was off the pace for a few laps, and now, Matt, it is starting to go again and starting to handle. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Leary right now is trapped between a couple of white cars. Quintiliano in front of him, Reen behind him, but leading by the length of a telephone pole is that number 42, Michael Ray. Sometimes maybe a little overly rambunctious, but right now he looks pretty smooth, and he will be 4 laps away from victory. It won't be easy because Paul Arute is not surrendering.
Certainly isn't. It's coming down to the wire. 2 miles left in the competition. Ray, who started this event in the front row with Paul Arute. They've run 1-2. Meanwhile, Tom Fern started back in the 6th spot. Worked his way up to 3rd, but hasn't been able to get higher. But the battle for 4th is Quintiliano, Leary, and Glenn Reen. And that has been a real good battle, lap after lap.
Remember, Fern worked his way into 3rd by the 2nd lap. So
Obstacle
he has
sticks.
been running in 3rd for a long time. Leary looks like he might be poised to take another shot at Quintiliano before this race is over.
Less than 2 laps remain, and Michael Ray comes up on lap traffic. This time, when he comes back to the stripe, Michael Ray in the DMW graphics machine gets the white flag. Paul Arute runs in his tire tracks. Final circuit, final time by. He led each and every circuit. Ladies and gentlemen, off turn number 4, Michael Ray will take down the victory. Paul Arute will finish in 2nd, Tommy Fern for 3rd, Mike Quintiliano for 4th, Tyler Leary for 5, and Glenn Reen to finish in the 6th spot.
Then it will be Darrell King crossing the line in 7th, followed by Albert Saunders in 8th, Cliff Saunders in 9th, Paul Verrecchio in 10th, and then Chase Cook will finish 11th. Kyle Rickey Jr.
Michael Ray climbs from the car, celebrating his first win of the 2018 season here in the late model division. 7th a week ago, and you gained in a big way here tonight, picking up the win, leading all 30 laps en route to the checkered flag. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm speechless right now. I mean, you know, last week we were junked, we were in the wall. This car is 18 years old, but you pulled it out of the weeds to run it. My dad, my brothers, my mom, Mel, Mike, Billy, everyone, I mean, they worked so hard on this car. And I mean, 40 hours this week, we did a whole off season's worth of work in 1 week to get here, and I just was hoping to finish tonight. So I got to thank all of them, especially. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be here. JMD Chassis, you know, built this thing 20 years ago, still winning races. So, what's that say about that? Auto Machine, Dave Miller, Heck the Motor, Torino Services, some great onboard camera shots. I mean, just everyone. I'm speechless.
Boys upstairs thought maybe you might have scuffed the wall a time or two out there. Were there any close calls from your seat?
Oh, I got her once. I knew Paul was back there. My spotter, Kyle, he was in my ear saying, he's right there with you, right there with you. So I was pushing all I could. Obviously, hang on to her just enough.
There you go. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Here you go, Michael Ray claiming the win here tonight in the 30-lap late model feature. He mentioned Paul LaRue. Let's go over and talk to Paul, who finished in the runner-up spot. A much better week this week than a week ago, Paul. I don't think you've turned around once. Congratulations. A good podium finish for you guys.
You're funny, huh?
Well, I try.
Yeah, no, the car was awesome. We needed a good run after last week. Last week was tough. Car was wrecked pretty bad, but we knew we had a great car. Congrats to Mike. I raced him clean. I hope he remembers that. That's what we're trying to do. I don't want to wreck anybody, and it's supposed to be fun. I got to thank my crew, Steve, Rick, Mike, Everett, Wendy, my brother, my parents, my girlfriend, fiance. She's here.
She didn't hear that.
She's not here tonight, so she didn't hear that. All my sponsors, I can't thank them enough. Gavin and Nate Boucher. Yeah, I'm happy to be on the podium.
There you go. Welcome back. Congratulations, Paul LaRue with a second-place effort. Tommy Fern might be the point leader after tonight. I know it's early in the season, but a couple of top 3 runs for you here in the first 2 races. The fire truck, red and black, getting back to the podium here tonight. Congratulations. Another good run.
Yeah, we just try to get here every week on the podium, and the points will take care of themselves. That's a long ways away. But, you know, we had a good race there. Went green to checker. We're just a little bit off tonight. We ran the same tires we did last week, so I guess the tire rule here is working a little bit, I guess. But, you know, King Ward, Coach Lines, Safeco Foam, Sun Valley Fire Equipment, Guns and Gear. We got JR Sweeping and Whip Sporting Goods. And all those guys help me out. It costs a lot of money to run these cars every week here. And congratulations to Michael, Ray, and Paul there on a second-place finish. And hopefully we can be back here next week. Maybe a couple spots better.
There you go. Tommy Fern with a third-place effort here tonight on the podium.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Not on my watch, they say, as they volunteer to serve, as they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So, not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives. Even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option, we won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
A field of 23, one driver's change. Joey Farino taking over the 76, which is usually driven by Paul French. Starting at the point will be the number 54 machine, and that, of course, will be Mikey Flynn, driving the Hampton Engineering car from Hampton, Mass.
A rookie driver in car number 7 from Salem, Connecticut, in the Darling Auto Parts car, Alexandra Pearl.
Allstate Fire Equipment brings us car number 38 from Plainville, Connecticut, for George Nasura Jr.
Then it will be the Old Warhorse in car number 60 from Vernon in the Precision Mechanical car. Here is Glenn Griswold.
Napa of Tolland brings us car number 28 for Rich Hammond out of Tolland, Connecticut.
The 09 will be next, second in her heat race in the MAWC accounting car. Here is Cassandra Cole.
From Putnam, Connecticut, the Vians Motorsports car number 33. The driver is Christopher Vians.
The 79 lines up next, a driver from Southwick in the Scabelli's mobile car. Here is Jeff Nooney.
Wicked Motorsports TurboTax brings us the number 1 for Bob Charland.
Buckshot will be in car number 2 from Lebanon. Buckeye Construction brings us Mark Buckeye.
The Johnny's Mud Run machine out of Vernon, Connecticut, car number 81 for Brett the Jet Gagne.
Last week's winner will be in car number 88. Wheeler's Auto brings us Marcello Refrano.
Car number 22 is up next. The Accurite Tool and Machine car for Wesley Prucker.
A world champion in the Legend division will be in car number 55. In the Montanari Fuel car, here is Teddy Hodgson.
A superstar in the Florida Connection. Robert V. Hour Construction, number 01, Brian Narducci out of Colchester, Connecticut.
Marcotte Ford is a sponsor for the driver of car number 16. He is from Palmer, Mass, Todd Doulard.
Then it's the RDM Motorsports, number 99, from Plantsville, Connecticut, for Rick Dulac.
This driver finished third on opening day at car number 35. Race Choice, the sponsor. Here is the high roller, Andrew Moeller.
Car number 29 is up next. Fireball Farms machine from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Chris Matthews.
Car number 71 had a little adversity in qualifying. He is in the Jensen Tire and Auto car, Pete LaPooch.
Then it's Gary Mann's hometown barbecue sauce, number 8 from Andover, Connecticut. It is Norm Sears.
And taking over the ride in car number 76. His car number 87 was double hooked in qualifying. The mayor, Joey Farino.
And of course, Matt, we have a lucky individual going for the 2-seater ride.
So we will check out our identity. That is Matthew Walicki. So Matthew Walicki is with Bob Potter right now at the rear of the field, and he will be right in the middle of the action for the first half of this race. That could be you. You not only get to ride in a modified, but in an actual SK Light race. That is the best package that we have, and that is Matthew Walicki in the passenger seat, accompanied by the 11-time modified champion, Bob Potter.
So off the turn, the lights are off, and we are ready. 20 laps. The distance. Mikey Flynn leads the bandwagon down into turn number 2, but Alexandra Pearl is going for the gusto on the outside, but a tap to the bumper says that the old warhorse Glenn Griswold, he's not done yet.
And what about George DeSera? As he's able to springboard his way temporarily into second, he is going after the lead from Mikey Flynn. Inside position for George DeSera.
George DeSera wastes no time at all. The color red emerges.
Remember, he had a troublesome week on opening day. He lost the engine on that car, and then he was involved in an altercation. Glenn Griswold, he gallops his way into third.
Glenn Griswold has not been this strong in quite some time. And what about Cassandra Cole? She's up to the top 5, looking as strong as she did in qualifying. Hammond is next to her, and they are 3 wide, almost 4 wide, as they come off the turn. And Brett the Jet Gagne was the meat in the sandwich there.
And what a job by the hammer, Rich Hammond, as he tries to go underneath Alexander Pearl in the 7. What power by Rich Hammond. This is one of his finest hours behind the wheel in an SK Light.
Hammond manhandles the automobile. Meanwhile, Alexander right there to contend, and all of a sudden, moving in, Mark Buckeye with the number 2 car. And who's right there with him? Believe it. Oh!
Car goes around onto the grass.
Back. We're still good. We're almost 5 wide, and that 2 car, amazingly
Mark
enough,
Buckeye took an agricultural detour and was able to keep the race under green.
5 laps.
He has to pick some daisies, I think, out of his seat, but he is able to be back in the race, and George and Sarah is pulling away from Flynn.
Meanwhile, Narducci comes together with the Wicked Motorsports car of Bob Charland. Charland's got a good run going up to the 7th spot. Here comes Brett the Jet Gagne, and Peter Lapouche is there as well.
What a move by Vians, as he was able to fossilize Rich Hammond. So the 33 of Chris Vians, who's had some good days and some off days, right now he is threatening Glenn Griswold in the fight for 3rd.
Look a little further back. Narducci has just went around a gaggle of cars in an effort to move up through the ranks. Narducci is up to the 6th spot.
The back bumper of Charland's car is being abused by Marcello Refrano in the 88. Caught on the outside is Gagne. A crossover move by the Jet, and he almost picks up a position.
The mad scientist has got the 81 dialed in and hooked up tonight. And now Gagne, what a move for Gagne. Bottom shot move, the Johnny's Mud Run machine just kicked some mud into the face of some other competitors, 3 wide behind him now.
Boy, a rookie baptism by Alexander Pearl as Gagne with that slingshot move. And he has one of the fastest bullets in the chamber. Best battle for 3rd and 4th. Vians, a little tap to the back bumper to try to open up some room underneath. And the move is going to work as Chris Vians in the red 33 is able to scorch his way underneath Griswold.
Chris Vians, we haven't seen him run like this in a long time.
He's capable of it.
He's up on the podium, and right there is a huge factor. Meanwhile, Narducci is climbing the charts. He's up to the 6th spot. Gagne is up to 7th. Charland is up to the 8th position. Here's a bold move again. This time, it's Narducci. What a good move that he just pulled on Hammond. Brian Narducci is coming to the front. He's up to the 5th spot and going forward.
Now, George Nacera is driving a car that was formerly owned by Ted Christopher. What a way to pay tribute to the King tonight if he can get a win. Here is Vians. He is ready to close in on Mikey Flynn. The feel-good story of the race is Mikey Flynn, and Narducci has moved a position. So Narducci is a factor, but nobody is quicker than George Nacera.
There's no question about it. Narducci just went around Glenn Griswold like he was stopped in the racetrack.
Like he had cement tires.
Hammond can't believe his eyes. And look at Narducci. He's reeling in on Vians, who is turning in a superstar run tonight.
Nobody has passed more cars in the last 2 weeks than Brian Narducci has. Red Thunder closing in on a couple of newcomers, Chris Vians and Mikey Flynn.
There's no question about it. Mikey Flynn holding on for 2nd. Vians is there. Vians dips to the bottom. It's Vians by a bumper. And who's going with him? Brian Narducci.
The roller coaster move by Vians, but it also opens up room on the inside for Narducci, who gets by Flynn. Now he is trying to thunder underneath Vians. He has room, he has power, and he has 2nd place.
While that's been happening, Glenn Griswold is trying to shake off Hammond, and all of a sudden there's 3 cars, make it 5 cars contending with Hammond, trying to pick up a spot among the top 5 positions.
Best that Hammond has ever run in an SK Light.
This time,
Refrano trying to get underneath Gagne.
This time, 2 circuits to go, Matt. And Nasura has driven a flawless race with less than 2 circuits to go.
Motor problems on Sizzler Sunday. Accident problems on Sizzler Sunday. But he is ready to head to the line. The white flag is out. One more time around for George Nacera, trying to drive in the tire tracks of the legendary Ted Christopher.
He heads down the back straightaway. In true Christopher form, George Nacera at the front, never looked back. Ladies and gentlemen, George Nacera will do it in a former TC Ted Christopher ride. Finishing in the runner-up spot will be the number 01 machine. For Brian Narducci, what an impressive run. And rounding out our field, Christopher Beans, great job for 3rd. Mickey Flynn, same can be said for 4th. And Rich Heyman, watch out because you did a great job to finish among the top 5. There's our top 5, as now we'll check the remainder of the finish of the field in just a moment.
There it is.
6,
We'll have to talk fast.
6 is Marcelo Rafano. Andrew Moeller will finish in 7th. Good run for Bob Charland in 8th. Red Gagne is 9th. Wesley Prucker will finish in the 10th spot.
Well, we just talked fast enough to get our top 10. George Nacera pulls in to Napa Victory Lane. And you talk about redemption, we'll talk about 11th place, Glenn Griswold. 12th, Teddy Hodgson. 13th, Alexandra Pearl. 14th, Cassandra Cole. And Todd Doulard finished 15th. Mark Buckeye, 16th. Jeff Nooney, 17th. Norman Sears, 18th. Chris Matthews, 19th. Rick Dulac, 20th. Pete LaPooch, 21st. And Joey Farino had a very frustrating night to finish 22nd, but having a great night. George Nacera, remember, he battled for a championship almost for the entire 2017 season. Wrecked that car at the end of the campaign. Said he gave a couple of races away during the season. Tonight, he was flawless.
There's no question about it, and what a great run he turned. And there's no question about it, he passed more cars than anyone else. Brian Narducci will finish in the runner-up position as well. And Vians turned some heads, and I think you're going to see so much out of that young man in weeks to come. But right now, our attention heads to the winner's circle and our good buddy, Kyle Rickey.
Yeah, George Nacera picking up the race win. The theme tonight for these race winners, guys, is if you had trouble on Sizzler Weekend, there's a good chance you're going to get the job done here tonight. George Nacera has done just that. Congratulations. Struggled last weekend, but made your way quickly to the front here tonight and never looked back.
All I got to say is this race is for one person, this race is for Ted. Oh, my God. Last week was the worst week we ever had. I was here until midnight changing the motor, raced the whole entire race with a flat tire. But I couldn't be here without all these guys. They may call me a jerk and whatever else, but if it wasn't for my sponsors and all these guys, I wouldn't be here right now. I got to thank Allstate, Taxing Matters, both my grandparents, M&T, Waste Material, everybody. This was totally unexpected. This is great.
Well, congratulations. Out front, any pressure once you got to the front? You see Brian coming?
Honestly, I didn't see much in the mirror. I knew he was coming. This isn't the best car we had. I got lucky starting up front, and we just held it. But I know if he caught me, he probably would have blown right by me. But 20 laps, 20 laps.
Just flip that mirror up and don't look.
See him. Yeah.
There you go. George Nacera Jr. picking up the race win, his first of the year. And a lot of folks down here to congratulate George on his effort here tonight. Let's talk to Brian for the second week in a row. Comes home with a second-place finish. Consistency is key. A couple of pair of runner-up finishes, but still overall, again, not a bad night for you guys.
Yeah, great night, starting 15th, finishing second week in a row, so we should be leading the points, and had a good night. All we wrecked was a front bumper, so that's pretty good. Coming from the back, there's some people that are all over the place, and if you can come out with just a bent front bumper, you're doing pretty good.
A lot of folks down here congratulating you as well. Who do you have to thank?
I got to thank my mom, Todd Owen, Butch Shea, Chassis Pro, my Aunt Vanessa and Uncle Greg, the Florida Connection, Curly's Kids Care, Baldwin Automotive, Chris Hour, Dunleavy's, EB Exterminating, FK Rod Ends, Chris Hour, Donnie Priest, Rad Auto Machine, and everybody on the crew, Daryl, my dad, Grampy, Uncle Jeff for the transmission, Scooter, Frank, and everybody that helps out.
Congratulations, second place run.
Thank you.
Ryan Narducci, a lot of drivers don't think about points this early in the year. It's the first thing he said is, I think we're the point leader after 2 races. Let's try to catch up with our third place finisher, Chris Vians. Again, a battle survived tonight. Chris, congratulations, third place run for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Car was real good. We were kind of a grenade in practice and been having motor issues since Icebreaker, so we finally, I guess, got that figured out, and car was on rails. It was good, and got a lot of people to thank, though. EB Exterminating, Eric's here tonight. He's a great guy. My boss, Kenny Barry at Spafco, Steve and Billy at Spafco, my girlfriend, Lindsay, my mom, my dad, Century Tool Company, Stafford for having us out here, Portraits by Nan, Renee's Working Girl Catering, and Wheelbrader Technologies. Without them, this wouldn't be possible, so.
Takes a lot of people to get you guys back here. Congratulations, good podium run.
Thanks, man, appreciate it.
Chris Vians, a third place run here tonight in the SK Light Modified feature.